Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you join us for the latest webinar of the Nightwatch Master Integrator series, a webinar experience designed to level up your security knowledge and integration skills. My name is Unity. I'm the marketing specialist here at Nightwatch and your Nightwatch host for the day. So you may be wondering, why do we do these webinars? In today's fast evolving world, staying ahead in security requires expert insights, practical strategies, and real world solutions. This series is designed to bring you helpful information, best practices, innovations, and actionable tips to enhance your organization's security systems. So without further ado, get ready to learn, engage, and take your expertise to the next level. Let's dive in. First, we'll start going over the agenda. We have our partner Lenel here to demo the OnGuard system, and then we will go into the Q&A. The Q&A section is at the end. There will be dedicated time allotted to questions at the end of the discussion. And so we encourage you to use the QA function to ask questions that are top of mind for you. Now I would like to introduce to you our presenting partner from Lenel. Please welcome Mike Uphold. Take it away, Mike.
Hi, everybody. Once again, my name is Mike Uphold. I am actually a field sales engineer for Lenel S2, powered by Honeywell. And I'm going to be showing you guys OnGuard 8.3, which is our current released version. And we're going to go through the web modules and everything that we can offer to you in a web environment to keep you from having to deal with any of the thick client issues that you run into. So if everybody can hear me, and I'm going to share my screen and make sure everybody can see that. Fantastic. So once again, we're going to revolve this discussion around our web interface, which is called console. And this is a thin client. This does in fact run on any web browser that you choose. So it is web browser agnostic. It is HTML5. So it can run on a Mac, PC, tablet, phone, whatever you really want to do. We got away from utilizing applications on a smartphone or a device because you had to always keep track of those, just like you had to do with the thick clients. So we chose to go in the route of the web interface that allows you to open it up on any connected device that can actually reach the OnGuard application server. So what you're seeing here is what's called My Console, and you'll see a couple of different things. You'll see these light blue tiles here. These are all web modules. Anything that's not either light blue or dark blue are going to be tiles that we created for other options and other pieces and parts that you can do at your free will. You'll also notice that we have a quick snapshot. It's basically a report that gets pulled from the system every time you launch the web interface. It basically breaks this thing down over the last month of what your system's looking like. Door forced open alarms, door held open alarms, so on and so forth. But it's just a really quick snapshot that gives you that. You'll see all this stuff here. In your last month, top 10 transactions by objects affected, so on and so forth. But like I said, it's just a quick snapshot. We also have tiles that represent all your thick clients that you may or may not have installed on your machine. If you do, you can launch them from here, and it will use the credentials that you're signed into the console with to launch those applications without having to retype your information. We can utilize single sign-on with this, so you can utilize any of the single sign-on apps that you're using to be able to log into these, which takes care of a lot of background security problems that you might have. Any questions on the overview of the console, we can take those later on in the thing. So this is not just a console or a spring pad for Lenel OnGuard. This can be utilized for any person that's using this. Completely customizable. You can come in here and you can move things around at will, hide tiles that you want to hide, or even create new tiles by creating a new card. So if you have a website that you want to use, you can create a link to that. If you create a custom report, which I'll show you here in a little bit, you can actually create a link to that report that you run on a regular basis. So instead of having to go through the reports, select the report and run it, you can actually just click on it and it'll run for you. So this is completely customizable to you. You can also even use these to launch other EXEs that are located on your machine as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a first couple of things here. And the biggest one is being monitor. Go ahead and get back out of that, cancel that, and then go into monitor. Monitor, if you're familiar with OnGuard at all, used to have a thick client version of this that allows you to look at all the activities going on in your system, but it had to be physically installed on your machine. And anytime you did an upgrade, you would have to upgrade that as well. Here we give you a pure web browser environment that gives you all the same information, easier to access, easier to modify, and customize to your will. What you're seeing here is what we call all alarms. And this actually does show you everything that's going on in the system. So you'll notice here you'll have your priority level of the alarms, whether or not you're going to be in an attention needed mode where the explanation plate is going for you. You can actually come in here and respond to these. You can mark them in progress, or you can acknowledge them by simply clicking on these here. If you do have notes that are required, then you can put in your notes and click on acknowledge, and it will acknowledge the alarm for you. If you are using a video integrated system and you have the integration going, you can actually pull video from said event directly from your video recording system and bring it up on the screen and see the complete tie-in right here with a single click. If you need to save said video, you can simply export this video to your machine and then send it to whoever you need to do it. So complete anonymity, whatever you want to do, it's all right at your fingertips. It also gives you quick access, just like the thick client did, where you can click on a person's name. This is going to give them their recent activity that this badge has done as a quick trace. You can save this trace, which will bring it into a separate tab, so you can keep tabs on them if you need to. If you need to watch somebody in particular, you can actually do that if you want to. Or if you click on more details, it will actually open up a separate window and take you directly to that card holder's details, which I'll get into later, but I wanted to show you that it's a quick way to get there. So with this being the base look and feel of it, you also have other ones here. We have non-badge events that we give you for a quick filter out. This is all your hardware happenings and everything else like that. So anything that has anything to do other than card reads, this is like your panels being offline, online, door forced, panic alarms pressed, or anything else like that. Once again, it's just a good way of doing that. You do have full access to be able to come in and control your hardware just like you did before. So let's see, let me go ahead and find if I got one in here. You can come in here and you can open the door manually from here, change the reader modes, mask it, unmask it, or pulse it, just like you could with a thick client. So you still have full control of all your hardware within a web environment. We have a place for your device groups. So if you have a group of doors or anything else like that, we can come in here, and on that whole group of doors, you can make a quick change that actually controls that entire set of doors that you have inside there. New with 8.3, we give you what's called lockdown. Prior versions of OnGuard, it was quite of a heavy lift to be able to create and utilize lockdown groups. But here we're able to actually come in and control them from here if you want to, and I'll show you how to create those here in a little bit. But we now gave you the ability within the web environment to be able to create your own lockdown groups, and it's a matter of just adding it, giving it a name, and then choose the readers that you want it to be in there, and it will show up in your list. And it's still able to control via a button if you want to program it in that way, a specific card read, or if you want to activate it any other way that you want to. We do give you an active video monitor. So what this does for you is if an alarm comes in based upon your requirements, like a door force or anything else like that, you're going to get a video pop if you have your video integration happening. So if a door force happens and you have a camera tied to that event, it's going to pop up on the screen so it gets your immediate attention, and then you can go from there. We also still allow you to utilize all the mapping functions that you have in the system. So you can actually create your maps, you can nest your maps, and you can control all the readers and doors and everything that are on here. So you can actually click on the door, you can watch the video if you have anything associated with it, open the door, change reader mode, just like you could in the thick client. So you're not losing any functionality. The only thing that you do not carry over from the thick client is going to be sounds. If you have specific sounds that are associated with specific alarms, those do not carry through just yet because it's a limitation on how we utilize HTML5. We're working that out, but hopefully it'll be available here pretty soon in one of our next releases. Now, those are all the standard views that you can utilize. You can actually come in here and create any kind of layout that you want. For instance, this is called 4-lane cardholder verified. This allows you to actually check the card reader, the card read versus the person utilizing the card to make sure it actually belongs to them. And if we hang out here long enough, you're actually going to see a cardholder image pop up, and then they can physically check to say, hey, is that person that's using that card really the person that's supposed to have it? Let's see. We can create one that's got the lockdowns in it. So you can see this one right here has all your events coming in, a map section, and your lockdowns that we can trigger. We can come in here, you can click on lockdown group and it's going to activate it. You can click it again to deactivate it. Very, very slick. You want to create a small video wall. If you're utilizing video integrations, you can actually do that as well. We wouldn't recommend going over anything over 16 split, but that's what you can do with this system. You can create a small video wall in a web environment without having a big machine and a big monitor. But this is fully yours per login that it can create and maintain and customize however they wish. We're going to jump back out and go back to our console here. So that was what monitor looks like. Now let's go into, let's say, credentials. If you have somebody that's managing your card holders, this can all be done from, once again, any laptop, computer, PC, Mac, whatever it was. Like I said, it's completely agnostic. You can even do this on a phone if you have connectivity, but it allows you to come in and you can do searches for card holders. It's a lot easier than it used to be. Just start typing, it's going to start filtering out for you. You can actually come in here and put filters on this. So if you need to make a change to multiple cards based upon certain criteria, like, okay, so they have a photo, that's one. Let's see. What else do I want to put in here? And he belongs to a department based upon administration. It's going to break it down for you that quick, just by continually putting in all of your conditions in there. Once you find that, you can actually change this entire group with actions right here. You can just select that button and you can assign access level, remove access levels, delete the card holders, or modify the badges, whatever you want to do, all in a quick file, one file swoop situation. Keeps you from having to touch everything multiple times. And you can do this to an extent in the thick clients, but it's very clunky and it takes a little bit of time to work out. In the web environment, it shows you just how quick and easy that you can actually do it. Within there, you do not lose any information as you would before. If you wanted to create a new card holder, let's go ahead and just click on one here real quick. Let's just add one by hitting the plus button. Basically, it's the same information that you used to do in a thick client, but you can actually, if you're walking around and you need to get somebody's photo, you can actually click on this and you can use the camera that's on your device, or you can upload a photo from a file directory or whatever you have. First name, last name is all the same as it used to be. You can go into your card holder information. If you're using your custom user-defined fields, those will all be here for you. You're not losing any of that functionality. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump out of adding a new one because I don't want to add it any more in. Now let's just check out Mr. Gibbs here. And we can go down to his badges. It'll show you a list of all of his badges. You can jump into his badge, check the information, check the access levels that are associated with it. This one doesn't have any, but let's see if we got one it does. Nope, he didn't add any on his. But you can drill down as far as you want to. Let's try somebody else and see if they got anything in here. Here we go. So you can even go all the way down to find the access levels that they have. And you can click on it. Shows you the readers that are associated with it. And you can even actually drill down as far as what the time zones are associated to each one of those readers that are associated to that access level. So you're not missing any details, and it's all right here within the simple couple clicks of yours on your system. And it does have a light mode as well if you don't like the dark mode. We can jump into surveillance. If you are utilizing, once again, a video integration system, you can actually utilize this to be able to go in and rewind, fast forward, and look at all your different video right here from the web. Once again, I wouldn't go over 16 channels of video because it is a web environment, but very, very powerful if you're, especially if you just need to watch a couple cameras right there at your desktop without having to open up another client or anything else like that for your video systems. The next thing we're going to look at here is going to be behaviors. Starting with 8.3, we now have the ability to manipulate, create your time zones and your holidays. So you don't have to open up a thick client to be able to manipulate these. So you can actually go into your holidays, and you can create a new holiday, or you can actually come in here and manage these, however you want to do it. Your time zones, exactly the same way. We can actually add and manipulate time zones to be able to use in all the other steps and features of the system. Here's the big one, access level management. This is something that has been absent from our system since we created the web environment, which we actually started back in 7.5, and now we're getting ready to release 8.4. But now you can actually create and manage all your access levels right here from the web environment. Which is very, very powerful because this is one of the major things that a lot of people are manipulating on a daily basis. And for them to be tied to a specific machine in order to do this, now they can do this on any computer that they can log in and has access to the server. So they can jump on anytime, make the change, whether it's a mobile device, a tablet, whatever it might be. As long as you have connectivity, you can actually do this on the fly. Groups. You can actually come in and create any of your groups, whether they be outputs, cameras, inputs, readers, whatever it might be. You can actually simply just add them, give it a name and a type. Let's just put test in here real quick. And then you can actually just choose whatever it's going to be. And you can actually assign the devices right over here. Don't want to create anymore, but I can just show you that it's how you do it. And now here's the other big one right here. Once again, prior to 8.3, in order to utilize lockdown groups, you had to have somebody who had really deep programming knowledge to be able to create a lockdown group. And if it needed to be changed, that programming had to be went completely through again to be able to make that change and filter it the way that you need it to be. Now you can simply come in here in the web environment, click on add, give it a name, and choose the readers that you want it to be in there. So if I just want, say, this reader, and this reader, we're going to add them in. Now they're there. You save it, and it becomes one of your lockdown groups. Once that's done, then we can do a little bit more background work in a thick client because we haven't added that portion in, but we can actually go in and assign that based upon any rule or that you want, whether it be a button, a key switch, whatever it might be, or a specific card read, we can do that for you. So that's a very powerful thing. Now, going along with that, we're going to jump back into credentials. Now that you have a lockdown group, allowing people through a door that's currently locked used to be a little bit of a challenge as well. But starting with 8.2, we actually gave you the ability. Let me choose somebody here. This one here, maybe. And we're going to go to their badges. And we're going to go to details. We give you a checkbox right here. It's called override locked reader mode. This allows them to actually physically get through a door that has been changed to the lock status. So if you have security guards, EMS, any kind of emergency services personnel, and they have a badge to your building and you put the system into a lockdown mode because it's a physical threat, their badges that they have will allow them through there just like they're using a standard badge. So that keeps unwanted people out. everybody else where they should be and allows EMS and any kind of emergency response personnel to get through those doors at any given time. So we paired those two very, very well. You can actually come in and manipulate any and all of your users of the system in here. So you can actually come in and create them, modify them, do whatever you want to. And once again, we give you a search feature for all of this. So if you need to find somebody in a long list of people, you can start typing in and it's going to pull it up for you. Nothing's changed the way, other than the way it looks on how everything functions. If you're going to add somebody in, you can simply click on the plus button, give the information, choose their account, permission groups, and monitor zones, just like it would be in a thick client. So you're not missing out on anything there at all. You can also come in here and change your password settings, all your complexities and everything else. You can change your lockout times if they're staying, if their system is just non-responsive for say 5, 10, 45 minutes, whatever you want to do, it can automatically kick them out. So we give you those options there. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to show you here is going to be hardware. Hardware allows you to come in, and if you are required, let's see here. Yep, okay, we're good there. So if you're required to change your password on your controllers every 30, 60, 90, once a year, whatever it might be, prior to this, you had to actually physically log into each one of the panels in a web environment, log in, change the password, change your TLS cert that you created, and then boom, jump out, go to the next panel. And if you have 100 panels sitting out there, that can be quite a big challenge. What we're giving you here is the ability to actually simply click on this and change password or manage your certificates. So you can do it all your panels and everything in one simple click and change everything out. So once again, we're just providing you with that extra level of security and making it easier for you to utilize, so it's not such a chore for you guys over the upcoming time that you have the system. Anything to try to help make it easier for you guys. A couple of things that we're going to touch on here. We do offer a visitor management module that's completely web-based. I'm not going to jump into this because I just want to explain it to you a little bit. This does utilize a web environment front desk type situation where you can actually go ahead and click on it and bring it up for you, where you can actually come in and you can actually add a new visitor in, check somebody in, sign them a badge, take a photo, whatever you need to do by simply clicking on the plus. And you can actually come in here and select your host, your co-host, and add visitors. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just want to let you know that we do offer this as a part of OnGuard. And it does give you a very good piece that allows you to track visitors. And it also makes it completely reportable. So if you ever need to go back and check and say, hey, Jeremy Sarah was here, what all did he do? Did he have a card? Did he do badge reads? You can actually run reports on all that to be able to track them from point A to point B and from the times that he was there. And that does come with another component that actually utilizes a tablet, like out in your lobby area, that you can use for either self-check-in and things like that. So that's a part of a package if you want to use it that way. One thing that we do offer is called cardholder self-service. And cardholder self-service, I'm just going to explain this a little bit. I don't want to dive too deep into it, but it allows you, if all of your cardholders are a part of an Active Directory group, and you guys are utilizing Active Directory, you can actually allow cardholders to go into a website and request access to a reader or a door. That gives them the ability to say, hey, I need access to the 4th floor meeting room on Monday the 28th from 12 to 5. And what's going to happen when they submit that is that you have delegates. So you can actually have delegates that reside in all these different buildings or in pieces and parts of your buildings that can actually either say they can approve it, deny it, modify it, and then approve it again, or they can just flat out deny it if they wanted to, right? But it basically delegates that information to the people that are in control of those buildings that know more of what's going on in their environment. That takes the stress off the centralized people that are going in saying, well, I got another email requesting temporary access to this door or what have you. It delegates that out and it makes it a very simple and clean environment for them to do that with. Let's see here. The next thing we're going to jump into is reports. Reports in the web environment are extremely powerful. Basically, what we did was we took a lot of the form and function from, say, like a Crystal Reports, and we gave that to you in the ability to be able to manipulate any of the predefined reports that we give you in the system to create your own custom reports. It allows you to save those reports once you get them fixed, and then it allows you to schedule them to run and then actually email them out to whoever they need to go to at any given time. So one of the big ones that people mostly do here, let's see. Let's do an access denial on grants by readers. I'm just going to run one here really quick. I'm not going to modify any parameters. So I've got an access denial granted and other badge events by reader. So this is all the things that are going on per reader, right? You'll notice it right here. But the cool part about this is once you run this report and it's not to your liking, you can actually go into interactive mode and you can actually put in filters. So let's go ahead and put a filter in here really quick. And I want to do reader name, and I only want to see Blue Diamond reader only. You see how quickly it just changed that report right on the fly? And then it's like, okay, so it's missing some information that I need to have in here. I want to put in building, what building they belong to. So I'm going to just drag and drop that, hopefully, if it allows me to anyway. There it goes. I want to know what building these guys belong to. And of course, they don't have buildings or anything on it. So let's see. Let's put badge type in here. So you see how quickly and easily I can manipulate this. Not only can you do it with filtering and adding in your UDFs, we also give you the ability to come in and use dynamic resources like user-defined functions, formulas, and even aggregations. Once you have this report the way you want it to, you can actually simply just come up here and save this report and save it to whatever you want to name it. And then once it's done, it's going to show up in your list here. And then you can come in here and say, okay, I want to go ahead and let's schedule this one out. Give it a schedule name. Give it a parameter. Choose your time and everything that it's going to be running from. Then you can publish it in whatever format that you want it to be, or to an email, or to an FTP. Once you select that, then you can actually schedule this to run whenever you need to. Does it need to run daily, weekly, monthly, every third day? You can do it here, or every weekday at whatever time you want it to run. Very, very straightforward. So if you get a successful task, you can, okay, you don't want to get an email every time you get a successful task happen, but if you says it fails to run, you can come in here and add a recipient in there that says, hey, your report failed to run, please go check it and make sure it runs for you. So we are fully tracking the entire process right here within the system. So another thing that we offer is what we call policies. And once again, I'm going to explain this a little bit. I don't want to dive too deep into it, but we can utilize policies to control access via, I want to say, documentation or requirements or expiration dates. So if you have construction workers or anything like that that are coming onto your site and they can't be on site unless they hold an OSHA card, or if they have read through and agreed to all your different documentations that requires them to be on site, you can actually put that in a policy and say, hey, every 30 days they have to review this video. And at the end of that counter, they're going to get a notification that says, hey, you're about to expire if you don't do this. And if they don't, next time they come on site, their access will be, it will not work anymore for them. So it's a way to control access through company policies. And that's about everything that I really want to touch on there. I was going to show you guys our new AI help bot, but it is down because it's still in beta. It's down for maintenance right now. We do have something that we have it's called Lisa, which is a Lenel Intelligent System Administrator, which is our AI agent. What this system does for you, it's got three pieces. It's got the help bot, which allows you to go in and ask it in plain English any question that you have about the system on how to do things or how to find something or how to navigate, and it will show it out to you. There's going to give you a video or step-by-step instructions. The second part of it works in conjunction with reports, and that will actually allow you in plain English to request a report from the system. So if you go into it and you say, okay, I need a report for everybody that went through the Blue Diamond Reader on Monday the 18th from 7 to 5, and it will spit that report out for you. You can also use the report bot to ask simple questions like, hey, does Bob John have access to the Blue Diamond Reader? And it'll say either yes or no. And along with that, the third piece is called our control bot. Allows you to make changes to the system with plain English. So basically you can, from the reporting side, you said, John Smith doesn't have access to that door. You can actually manually assign it with just a couple of questions or a couple of typed out sentences. You can say, please add John Smith please add access to John Smith for Blue Diamond Reader. And what it's going to do is it's going to go back through process it, show you what it's going to do. And you can click yes, and it will do it for you. And it's instantaneously done. You can also use it to unlock doors, to change schedules, whatever you want it to do with it. So it's a full-blown basic English environment that allows you to control the system. Now, like I said, the last two of those, other than the help bot, are actually in beta, and they will be coming out here soon. We're still refining those. But what we're creating them for are high turnover areas for people that are actually managing this system. They need help with it or don't remember how to do it because they don't do it very often. We give them the tools to do it for them. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you guys before we get to our Q&A session is the fact that you're not losing access to any of your thick client stuff. You can still open it up. They're still there for you. So you're not missing out on anything here. But what we're trying to do with the web environment is give you an ease of access, ease of use, and a very low learning curve because it's a more friendly environment. And with that being said, that's pretty much my overview.
Thanks again, Mike, for the presentation and the demo. It was very helpful. Thank you to all the attendees for joining today's webinar. We hope you found the session informative and helpful for future decision making. A few last closing things. A recording for this webinar will be sent to you soon so you can revisit key points. Or if there's something specific you want to see again that Mike did, you'll be able to do that as well. And with that, thank you so much for joining this webinar today, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.